Hello, hello. Look at all this greenery. I am up on the roof of our house. This is a spot Steve and I have taken to hanging out a lot in the evenings and watching all the birds and the butterflies and the moths and the bats and the dragonflies, because it provides such a wonderful perspective. And it's a spot where you really get to see the cohesiveness of the plants and the way that they're growing and forming what were little pods into now big pods. And that is beyond thrilling. I keep saying it, it's just better than I ever dreamed. It really, really is. Planting these plants and then letting Mother Nature plant the bulk of them has just far surpassed what I believed could happen here. I don't know why. And I'm sure I've said this on the videos, but it just really is astonishing, and everyone needs to do it because you will be astonished too. And it'll fill your heart with a lot of hope and joy and love for this planet. I guarantee it. So we are looking north right now, sort of northwest. The green barn, which is the building we're seeing, is due north of the house. And this is the old garden, so you can kind of see here. There's our mowed lawn that we have on the north side of the house. And we started with a huge vegetable garden here, and we've slowly whittled that down over time to something that was more manageable for us, that allowed us to do the other things we also love to do, like hike and explore and observe nature. We've just found that there's not enough time in every day to do everything that we want to do and maintain some space in the day just for free thinking, free doing whatever it is we want to do. And that's a really important piece for us to have to maintain our sanity. We need to have some free time now and again. There can't be a to-do list that's a million miles long. It's wearying. So this year we actually took the vegetable garden off the plate completely. We have just a tiny bit of greens growing and some cucumbers and some potatoes, and that's it. And it's been really nice. It's been a gift to just have that extra time. And what happened is the garden then filled in fully with jewelweed in the patch where we still had some plants. And so it's providing all of this thick green. A lot of this out here is goldenrod of several species, but you can see the yellow plants. Those are cup plants. Now you can see right here very distinctly the property line. We end at those flowers, and all of the bean fields and the woods that are further west of those flowers are not ours. So that's all someone else's land. And so here you can see that big tree on the left is a cottonwood. I don't know if that'll be left for you or not. I think it will. And that one's self-seeded in there, and the birds love to perch in there. And so we're going to kind of keep this area a mix of mostly open, but also some trees and some shrubs. So nothing real thick in terms of forest. And then look. Wow. The flowers, the cups. Oh man, I recommend them so very much. And so for this area, yes, we have planted a lot of stuff into here, but we have also let a ton of natives just come back in. This is kind of a lower area of this piece of property. It's very fertile. The plants like to grow here. And that was kind of a headache for the garden. So we were pulling native plants to keep our vegetables growing. It was crazy. And so obviously food is important. Steve and I are hungry. We like to eat. So we're working on supporting a lot of local growers as much as we can. We're not right by the city where a lot of the farmers markets happen, but we are in Amish country, so we pick up vegetables from them a lot. So for management out here, we will just maintain a certain level of woodies, as I talked about, and then the others we will cut out. Like you can see here, there's a big patch of sumac getting growing. We won't let that take over that whole area. We'll just cut it in the dormant season so that we can have this big meadow effect. Can you just imagine what this is going to look like come September when these goldenrods come in flower? Oh my gosh. I mean, right now this whole mass is just crawling with insects and birds. You might be able to detect the common yellowthroats calling, and indigo buntings and chipping sparrows. They love this area. There's willow flycatchers that hang out further to the north. And one of our best milkweed patches is in there, which I've done another video on. So to maintain this, besides cutting out some of the woodies, we every couple of years will mow. Steve will mow some sections of this. And that just knocks out the smaller woodies and keeps the meadow open. And that's it. And we do that usually late winter. So once everybody's feasted on the seeds and the insects that are in there, and before anybody really starts getting going again in the spring, that's what we do. And so one of my biggest recommendations for everyone with whatever size land you have is make your nature pods as big as possible. So don't have them too fragmented. The bigger the pod that we've been able to stitch back together, the more abundant the life has been. And that makes sense. I mean, it provides really great safety and security, and then all sorts of inner workings we don't even know about. I mean, just attachment points for spider webs, for nests, for dangling eggs, for crawling around as a caterpillar and being able to find more food that you need. And that's it. So plant, but also know that with time, a lot of these resilient, aggressive natives are going to find you, like these goldenrods. And if you can embrace them, remembering that they're native and one of the most important wildflowers you can have growing, they will be your very best friends because you don't have to plant all those plants, and they know how to sustain themselves, which is a true gift. For someone like me who has always liked to be in control, it's really great to relinquish that control to someone who knows what they're doing in this way through ancient knowledge. I'm 44, I think? And so I have 44 years worth of knowledge, and half of that I had no idea what I was doing. So Mother Nature knows. So employ a mower occasionally if you need it, but make sure you're doing it in the season when you're causing the least harm. One more look at the sunflowers. You can hear the goldfinches too. They're just getting going. They always get really active now because they nest later, and then it seems perfectly timed. The cut plants go to seed and the goldfinch families feast in them. All right, happy planting. Take care.